Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and joining. And happy Saturday afternoon. Good afternoon. This is the earliest I think I've ever done any type of stream, but it's going to be a really great stream. I've got a really awesome guy here to talk about some action figures and some toys and some toy photography. Because it's going to be another toy artist interview episode. It's going to be great. So thank you all again so much for being here. I see Bo Thomas is here, and I see Ashlyn is here, and Alicia is here. And Lucky Loic is here also. So thank you guys so much for joining. And here he is, the man himself. Corey, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
How's your day been so far? I heard you got a nice fresh haircut this morning, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, got a nice fresh haircut, yes.
Right.
So I look all nice and business ready and stuff like that. It had been like 3 months since I got a haircut. It was starting to grow very like...
I'm getting there too. I'm getting there too, yeah. Trust me. But so tell me a little bit about Corey and tell me a little bit about Valkitus photography.
I mean, I know it's kind of weird. I never talked about myself before like that. No, I moved down. Me and my wife, we graduated college last year, stuff like that. She's a fourth grade teacher. I graduated with a bachelor's in game design, and it's more like a 3D modeling, stuff like that. So graduated that last year, and right now I just work as a rep for Optimum, which is kind of like an internet video company. So I just go out and talk with people every day.
Cool. I wonder if you and Stegosaurus could have some game design conversations, because I know he's, that's kind of what he does as well. But tell me about you as a toy photographer. And also, I'm always saying it as Valkitus. Am I saying it right? Is it Valkitus?
Yeah, so... Of course, it was me being edgy. I had to come up with a new username for stuff, but I want to make it like a character name because I play like Destiny and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'll just make a name for so I can make my own characters, stuff like that. I didn't really mean to make it sound like Valkyrie, but I guess it ended up sounding like Valkyrie.
That's all right. Valkyries are cool. So you completely made up the name. Valkitus is completely.
Yeah. So I guess
cool.
I was like, oh, I'll do a Roman sounding name or something like that. Something that sounds like old a little bit, but also sounds like a hero name and stuff like that. And then I just stuck that on the top of my photography, stuff like that.
Awesome. That's cool. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me about your toy photography journey. Tell us about all that.
Okay. I mean, I don't think I used to I forget when I started taking photos figures and stuff like that, because I did a photography class in college. So it was a semester long intro to photography. They didn't really have a photography major per se, but they had journalism, stuff like that, but I wasn't taking it at the time, but I still took that as an elective and stuff like that. And that's when I started actually using an actual camera, which was just a Canon PowerShot. That's the one I still use because I bought one myself because I knew how to use it and it was cheap, and pretty much started from there. I used to take photos on my phone and stuff like that. The first photo on my Instagram was probably the behind the Gundam. I still have the Gundam kit right here, just a little new Gundam I built. It's nice. New Gundam and stuff like that. Just
find the first
in front of a TV screen. I think it's either the first or at least one of the first ones. But it was just
here we go.
It was just literally just a Gundam in front of a TV, my computer in my dorm of college. And I put some random wallpaper in the background, and then I threw some weird static filter over it on my phone and stuff like that.
And it looks good. Did you do this in the redo one? Did you use this?
Yeah, I did that was the redo one.
That's why I recognize this shot.
Heavily redone, and I'm probably reimagining is a better word for that. But I was the iPhone camera, when you take a photo right then you edit it, they let you in the iMessenger app, they let you put filters on it, which are never available the normal camera. So I had to do it that way, and then I got some static filter and stuff like that. So
I'm curious because I never took a photography class in high school, and I wish I did. I took a Photoshop class in high school, which was great. But I'm curious as to what kind of stuff did you learn there that kind of you're able to use now? What kind of stuff did they actually teach you anything that was valuable that you use now?
Well, when I was in college for game design, right? Because originally I did general education, and then I transferred down to the university after 2 years of general ed. And I came down and did college there. I took my first class for game design stuff was actually Photoshop. So we did a whole semester just learning Photoshop and stuff like that. And trying to remember,
Cool.
I can't really look up. I'm trying to find one of my other like composites I did for because it's on my main. It's on my main. I don't know how to share. I don't know if I can share stuff on here.
Is it on your Insta? On your main Insta?
It is on my main Insta, but I'm trying to find like not on my photography, but on my like personal Instagram because I used to post all my like art stuff on there. But I did like some compositing and stuff like that, and then
cool, very valuable things to learn.
Yeah, and then learned that, and then I did like 3D modeling stuff like that. I took some coding one semester, and then I was done with the coding. Like I was more of the art person. I did C++, but it started getting a little complex and stuff like that. So I kind of went toward the more artistic side and stuff like that.
So anything?
But then I took...
Sorry, keep going.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say anything from there that you learned that you're able to apply to like your toy photography now.
Yeah, like especially for Photoshop, like adding like sometimes I add effects and stuff like that, and outer glows and like inner, depending on like the kind of photo. Mostly just like adjustment layers and stuff like that, especially for like colors, because sometimes the camera doesn't capture color all the way correctly, so I have to adjust it with like the hues and stuff like that, and of course make colors pop and stuff like that. I really like especially when I do the two-tone colors, I like try to make it pop and not too much to where it like washes out a lot of stuff, but just try to make it seem vibrant while seeing like a little bit more still realistic, but not like too flat.
Right. Right. Awesome. And so I can see back there behind you. That's like is that your main setup?
That is a table my wife found at like Goodwill, I think, and she brought it in, and I pretty much just use it as like a little table thing now. So.
Well, it's like a perfect little like setup and everything. It's right next to your figures too. You don't have to go run around. You can just grab, shoot, and this looks like this was taken at that spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me about the one shot I always come back to is this one. Tell me about this shot. This is like.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what it was like for the toy photo tournament. Yeah.
Yes, this was in the tournament.
Yeah, I just saw I guess I went super meta and just wanted to do like a photo of some guy taking a photo. I don't know, obviously taking a photo, but I just thought it'd be just cool and stuff like that, and just try to like replicate kind of like myself in a way, like a self-portrait and stuff like that. Sadly, the selfie series for Hasbro wasn't a thing yet, so I couldn't really get a head sculpt. So you just see like the side of a guy's face. It's supposed to be me, but. Yeah, and of course I collected all the tiny little things over the time, and like I finally get to use some of these, and just did that.
So that's what I was going to ask about. Like, so all of the things in here are things you had just kind of gathered as time went on. So like these little mini Transformers and.
Yeah, I think the cars themselves, like the Jurassic Park and like the Transformers. I think they're like those die-cast metal. I think they're Jazzwares. I think they're like these little multi-packs that they had in like the Hot Wheels section. And then I printed off like the posters and stuff like that and cut them out. Took some tries to get the size right. But I got the posters and cut them out and stuff like that.
What about the McDonald's bags?
So a friend of ours made those in the comics and stuff like that. It's like a Christmas present. So I already had those.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they made.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they made the comics. Yeah, the little Soundwave cassette right there actually came from like a little accessory pack from a Transformer pack, because they did this little Centurion drone thing, and they came with like accessories for like different characters with it and stuff like that. So
sweet. And I'm really curious as to what this light is, because this light is actually emitting light. Like
it was like so it's in the Christmas section at Walmart for like Christmas. It's like a battery pack connected to like two lights that are on like wires, and they're like supposed to be strobe lights, and they just sit there and they do light for like scenes for like Christmas and stuff like that.
Oh, cool! It's like perfect scale. It's so small.
I know it was weird. Like it takes a lot of balancing because the base isn't weighted, so it's kind of plastic and then you have the core that kind of will move it around if it's tugged a little bit. Like so,
Right.
it took a lot of work to get it to go.
I'm so amazed with how small it is. I've never seen that before. I feel like I would have like seen that in the Christmas section at Walmart and been like, "This is
Yeah,
awesome.
I
I want
saw
one
them.
of these."
I saw them again this year. They're just in this plastic. It's kind of like that plastic that they used to put like knives in that had like the ridges and they're like glued and you can't open it, so you have to get like scissors to even like tear through the thing.
Okay. Linda in the live
Yeah.
chat says she has the same one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Awesome. And I've totally seen this before. Where is this from? Is this from like Michael's or something? I feel like I've totally seen
I
it.
don't know. So my wife found. I think I found either my wife or I found them at Goodwill. It was like a bag of like random stuff. I think that was
Oh,
in the bag and stuff like that. I was like,
maybe not.
I'll use that.
Nice find at
Um,
Goodwill. That's awesome.
I can't. I think it was Goodwill. I can't remember,
That's a
but
really
I think
cool
it
thing.
was. I know. I was like, I need to use it at some point. Then I found that. I'm like, okay. It was on. It was stuck on that paper like backing like with tape, and it kept falling off. So I took a photo as fast as I could, and it fell over like 5 minutes later. The glass Coca-Cola sign. I'm like, whew.
A good thing, because that's so awesome. And this tripod is cool. This is totally like a transformer thing, right?
Yeah, it's a transformer weapon thing. So
And it worked well because
it,
it's got a little handle for you to hold on
yeah,
to.
I'm trying to see if I can't find where it's from. There it is. Sorry. No, it's literally just like just
Okay.
yeah, it's just like a bazooka thing from the
Works so
transformer.
well.
I stuck it. Yeah.
I love the fact that you're able to have him hold on to it. And so is this also a transformer thing, the camera, or is that just like
Yeah, it came with the accessory pack. It was like it's supposed to be like a camera for like the transformers that turn into like a camera and stuff like that. But I painted it black. I
cool?
went ahead and painted it black, and then I put like some silver dry brushing over it, but I don't think it really worked that well.
I think it definitely did, because if it was silver like this, then it would have been hard to like differentiate, from that. So that was a great idea. And so yeah, like the pizza box and the cup too, were those also from the friend of yours?
Yeah,
that made
they made it for like Christmas, and they did like miniature paper things and stuff like that. So
That's really cool. I would love to try stuff like that because that just looks fun and easy, and these could really come in handy in shots like they did in this one. So this is definitely one of my favorites of yours. This is just like I don't know. There's so much to look at. We can literally have this entire conversation about this shot. And so this little diorama, so there's just like paper. Did you get those papers from like a craft store for the walls to
so it was actually like it's like these wood signs from Walmart. Like they're like thick square signs. I guess you'd like paint on them. They have like wood, like planks of wood that are like stacked. You can see kind of like the wood and stuff like that. So I went, and then you got these like tile print things from Hobby Lobby. They have like the patterns on them. So I just stuck them with tape, and then stuck more tape onto them. So
yeah, okay, those little tile print papers that I've gotten those from Hobby Lobby before too. Those are quite awesome, actually. Awesome. So yeah, this is such an awesome shot. This is so good. This is such a great shot. And so this one was on the Sirdork brand stream from yesterday, and this is I love this shot. And this looks like you used a lot of the same stuff for this. And so
I'm a little limited on like I don't have like a lot of stuff to like do multiple scenes, so I just try to use what I have sometimes, and then
which is great.
It works.
It works, and it works great too. It's one of the beauties about this is that you don't always need all this crazy fancy stuff. You literally don't. It's just you use what you got and it works. And so this whole thing, this is one of those mini brands dioramas you can buy, right?
Yeah, I actually found that one at Walgreens. It was on sale for like almost half off. I'm like,
nice.
I'll buy it, and then I build it. I'm like, I can use this for a photo.
Awesome.
At some point, I mean, it's a little small, but I think the way it's shot, it doesn't look small at all. So
no, you shot it perfect. And so this is the gas station one, right? Is this like a gas station one?
I think it was called like 24 Mart, or I guess it was supposed to be like a gas station, like a mall or some
Ah,
kind of thing. I don't know what
love
it's
that.
actually supposed to be, but
So cool. And I've always been really curious about this, and I'm like, could I use this for a photo? And I've never seen anyone else do it. And
mm,
then I'm just glad that you actually did it
yeah,
because it's really cool.
yeah, it's definitely used for like 3/4 figures, probably a little bit more than a 6 inch, because Mando's over here taller than the actual shelf.
Well, I think it works. I think it works perfectly.
Mm.
And I love how you had like two of the Barbies and you kind of put one Barbie behind another, like
Yeah,
kind of
that was an accident to even have two of them. I was like, oh, there's two because I got those little mini brands and they're random and stuff like that. I was like,
perfect.
oh, I got two of those, so I can put that behind there. So
Perfect. Yeah, this is great. And Alicia in the live chat says this is one of her favorites.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
Stubbs also agrees in the chat.
yeah, she likes all the Baby Yoda stuff. So
Me too.
when I do that, yeah.
Me too. Um, this one's great too. So what is this whole setup? It's this like.
So that was actually an Elf on the Shelf, like one of those pop-up display things for like an Elf on the Shelf doll. I'm like, and I had we had like the two Christmas Troopers, which I don't know why everyone hates on those. They're hilarious. So
I think they're great too.
yeah, my wife got the Scout Trooper one for this year, or for Christmas. So we have 3 now. So
nice.
But yeah, I was at her parents' house and we had that. I brought it over and I just took a photo while I was there. So I'll just take a photo.
I think it's hilarious, and great job for like, cause the little background setup thing looks pretty small. It looks pretty small, but like you're able to shoot it and have everything fit in. There's no like nothing sticking out, or that I think that fits so well. And he's got a little frisbee. What's the frisbee from? I want a little.
Yeah, I don't think it was from the mini brands. It was from another one that's kind of like, I think it's like mystery toy box or something. So they did like miniature, like fancy versions and stuff like that. So every time I see one of those, I try to pick one up because you never know what you're gonna get. So I have like boxes of
I think it's like the
like
Super
one box,
Impulse World's Smallest or something.
Yeah, World's Smallest. Yeah, so I have like boxes over here with stuff, and then some other stuff that have like little tiny figurines. There's a lot. There's a lot now.
You're really great at finding what you got and figuring out a great shot with what you got, and I think that's so cool. And he's even got a little like hula hoop on his other arm.
I forgot I had that. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
So awesome. So so like Transformers and Gundam are definitely seem to be like your favorite.
Well, I mean, I only have like 5 Gundam kits, and I only found them because of Hobby Lobby, and they started stocking those. So I'm not like too knowledgeable about like the series, but I like robots, and I saw some of them and I built them. So I really like them a lot. So like, because they are very posable, but they take a long time to build. So I'm not like looking at them like, I'm gonna buy 5 of these, because I'm like, I don't want to build all those for like 5 weeks straight, and they like, oh, I don't know. Especially with work and stuff.
That's part of the fun though, is putting them together.
It is, and I took time to like panel line others, like the one that was in that photo and stuff like that, and a couple others. That way you can get a little bit more depth out of them.
Yeah, I mean, I get you though, because like when you buy a figure, sometimes you just want to take it out and go and use it, but you can't do that with a with a Gundam, because you have
and I will say the explosions in this photo were actually kind of annoying to get right, because I was using those like Halloween like bulb lights that are like little dots, so trying to get them to at least glow the webbing up, the fake web, to look like explosions, while also not being like too far in to look like a bulb. It was a very hard thing to do because they kept moving around.
They came out great. And just a great use of all the other stuff you got going on. Like what are these little like?
Oh, is that crane that's right here in the background actually?
Is it just like a crane toy?
It's like a crane. It's like an actually remote control crane toy from like Hobby Lobby. It was like $20. It was either 20 or a little bit low. So it was like really cheap for remote control, like cheap crane toy thing. It's really big. So
cool.
Use that for like some of like the Spider-Man photos.
So resourceful. You'll find stuff at the most randomest places, and it's like, this will work for a photo. This was great. This is your pop one. This one came
Oh
out
yeah.
really great. Is there like did you add any kind of filter or anything on this? Because a really cool
I
kind of
yeah, I did
touch.
add like a filter because I found like some kind of filter on Photoshop. I think it was like the neural, not. I think it was a neural. It was either a neural filter or like the filter gallery, and it had like some kind of effect that kind of looked like a. If you ever been to like a Mexican restaurant, it had like the kind of that textured paint wall. I thought I'd do kind of like that kind of like effect and stuff like that. Which I wish that I had a better like higher shutter capable camera that still had like a lot of light. That way I could get the confetti like frozen because it did blur a little bit on the way down.
I think it's the
So
perfect amount of motion blur going on because like if it's just something like that that's completely static, it doesn't always look like it's falling. It could look like it's floating, but the fact that there is a little bit of motion blur, I think it's perfect because it makes it look like it's falling. So that's yeah, it's really cool. And Cam in the live chat says toy photographers certainly have a different view of the world around them. And I would agree. We definitely
that's
do.
true. That is true.
Definitely do. And look, here's those lights again, right?
Yep.
Those are really cool. Do you use these often?
It depends. Probably not too much, but when it came to like that, I was like, I'm just gonna have them like backlit a little bit, and then the ring light, of course, just so you get some of that nice like shine on the back.
Yeah.
So
Backlighting is the way to go. I agree. Because, yeah, it gives a really nice rim lighting around stuff, and you can definitely see it on him. Which, that shot came out great. There's one shot, I think it was the egg challenge. I'm going to have to find that. I really liked that shot. This one's awesome.
oh oh yeah, the abduction one. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was when I didn't have Photoshop for, like the last bit of it, so I had to redo it in that other software. Yeah, which it did actually turn out a lot better than I thought, but it was really tricky to try to get that the effect going.
I think it's so. I think this is so creative, and just the fact that you had this kind of, you must have had a vision in your head of how you wanted it to go, and that's the only way you're going to be able to get this angle is like my favorite part. The fact that it's like coming from below, and it's like, there's just the perspective is really cool. And that's definitely my favorite about it. And look, he's trying to just drink some tea.
Yeah, I try to do like the cheesy 50s stuff, which is what I usually do for stuff like that, like the monster film like photos, like
Definitely.
do like cheesy like 50s stuff, goofy stuff, and like a random detail. If you see like the little tea glass right there, how there's like light on both sides. There's only like one green light going off the side, so if you go to the actual photo, you'll see that I photoshopped the green light on the right, so it actually has green light on, or like go back.
Like over here on the table?
Like if you see the actual like tea glass, like the small one,
Yeah.
There's two lights on either side. If you go to the actual photo, there's only like one light because I photoshopped it so I could so it actually looks like the light's coming from the actual UFO.
Oh,
the light was
nice.
coming from off the edge, so I was like, I have to take that, clip it out, Photoshop, like copy paste, and then like vertically like mirror it so I could put it on the other side of the glass and make it look like it was actually lit from the UFO.
Cool.
I was like, I didn't think about that. And I was like, uh-oh. So I had to edit it a little bit.
Nice. That's
just to make it look like, just to make it look, just forgot the word. Like it was actually happening. Yeah, cohesive. Like it actually looks like the light source is coming from the UFO and not the edge and stuff like that.
No, it definitely does. And it's cool how like so often that happens, or the ideas don't come to us until editing has begun. Happens all the time.
Yes.
Absolutely. This one's really cool too. Really like this one. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, because my wife's a teacher, so I try to do like a little teacher thing. So I printed like all the little smart boards and stuff like that out, and I just made like a little like photo of someone teaching and stuff like that. And I guess that's like a little self-portrait to my wife and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be cute, so I took it and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's adorable. And you have a lot of really great figures that work as just like civilians, just like any person, which I want more of. And so are these like, so the one that you used for her, what figure is this?
I forget. It's like an X-Men character. It had like multiple like swappable like parts and stuff like that. And there's like the Gwen Stacy from like the Spider-Man. Okay. There's like the Hood figure right there. I forget who There's that, and I forget who the other guy in the background is. I don't know if I did behind the scenes on this one. I'm trying to remember.
I think you did. Oh, this is different focus. Oh, there you go.
Oh, it was a J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, that's perfect.
It was Jameson, yeah. It's perfect for just having like a sleeve on like the edge of the photo, but I didn't want to have him full on. I remember now.
I love the Think poster over here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, J. Jonah Jameson was on his knees for that photo.
Yeah,
I didn't have a.
And it worked.
Mm-hmm.
It worked. So Cam in the chat says McTaggart is one of the characters. I'm assuming.
I don't know the X-Men one. Because I bought it because I was like, I told my wife it kind of looks like her, so I just took it and then I took a photo of it.
I need to do that
like
more often. Like anytime I'm in the store, if I see like a Marvel Legends character, which are probably gonna all be on like clearance, that just kind of looks like a normal person, I need to pick that up because that's probably gonna come in handy a lot with. And so the whiteboard. How did you do the whiteboard?
I literally just copy paste it from like Google Images and then I cut it out. So I think a lot of those came from either I pasted in a Word or I did Photoshop and then I resized it and try to print it out and see how it went.
It works. So, look at the desk. Like, is this just like this piece of cardboard?
That was packaging from something.
That worked so well.
Yeah. Like I tried to like hide the holes the best I could because it was like I think it was like Transformer packaging for like the Target exclusive. So they had like a honeycomb pattern on it, so there's holes in it. But it was the only thing I had for like a desk outside the one that I used for the background desk. So
it works really well, and I never would have. You did a great job with it. Cam is saying it's Moira Taggart. Is the
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember the. I don't know the character. I just thought it looked like my wife, so I just thought it. So.
I'm just thinking because I want to know because if I'm gonna find it, I gotta So that's awesome. Awesome. This is another great one. So much going on here.
Yeah. I try to. Yeah, because I think for that one, I just try to make like an action scene, so it actually looked like they were actually like doing stuff.
Yes, so much happening.
Mm-hmm.
And this TV is so cool.
Yeah, it's actually a workable TV. It's like one of those. They're at Walmart. They're like the ones that have like they're themed for like Jaws or Batman and stuff like that. So they actually play like the shows on them.
That's so cool.
So,
I've always thought about picking one of those up. Yeah, that's so well done. Cool. Where's the one that I'm? This is the one. This is the shot. I remember seeing this one of yours, and I remember being just like, this is a huge step up. This is just like, just a big improvement. I feel like this was like a huge milestone. Like the way the grass and the background blend is like perfect. It really looks like they're there, and the lighting matches perfectly. So is this oh, there we go. So this was the TV.
Yeah, so I think it was like the first one I did with a TV background before like the Gundam. I think was like Gundam or the UFO was like the next one I did with the background. Because it was like an Easter thing, so I had Ben Riley like Spider-Man, and I found that like Spider-Man villain was this Easter theme for some reason on clearance at like GameStop. So I bought that and I did that. Whereas some random Spider-Man in the fort, in like a field chasing after a bad guy. And of course, we had like the little Easter eggs.
Yeah, those little
like
Easter eggs are perfect.
Bombs or something like that. I think I was going with like Easter egg bombs, but I didn't. They're just Easter eggs either way. And then, but we had like the fake grass from like Hobby Lobby. It's like a table cover that it was like grass and stuff like that. Right. So I rolled that out and had to prop it up a little bit, the way it actually looked like it was going downhill a little. And because his foot is like halfway on the grass and another one's on like the wooden platform behind, because they can't stand on the grass because they keep falling over.
Right. Yeah.
But
it's cool though because it looks like it's like this is a hill right here and then it goes down and then it goes up again back there, and that's really what it looks like. It kind of like that like classic Windows background, the wallpaper where it's kind of like that the hill's going up. So I think that just works really well. So yeah,
It
this
was
is
really
like
hard. Yeah, it was really hard finding the background, the right one, because I was looking through like multiple backgrounds and I couldn't really find one that looked right until I found that one. I was like, okay, that works. So I really tried to do the best I could with like matching it up, stuff like that.
awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah, so good, so good. Yeah, I think that's maybe not my favorite. I mean, I've got a lot. My favorite of yours is
Mhm.
probably the top one. Yeah, that you have
Yeah.
pinned. This is probably my favorite, but
Mhm.
definitely one of my favorites for sure. It just seems like a milestone shot. This is awesome. Um, this is the which is this which clone
Yeah, it's like the
trooper?
oh my bad. I just need to turn down my phone. My bad. I was trying to
Sorry.
catch up on the stream to make sure I was getting anyone's questions, but no. So it's the art like the old Clone Wars cartoon before
Right.
the original Clone
I'm
one.
trying to think. Do I have
So
this one? Yes. Okay. I do have the arc trooper from the
yeah,
Gennady Tarkovsky.
yeah. Basically, the Captain Rex before Captain Rex ever existed. I always thought it was like one character for some reason. I didn't think that it was like multiple, but no, I saw him. I was like, I really like the look of it. So I'm a sucker for red and stuff like that. So I got that one, and I had to take a photo. I didn't have any battle droids, so I just used like
Right.
one of those
Looks
bounty hunter
IG.
robots.
Yeah. Looks like IG-11 down here.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool. Well, there's just like there's so many fantastic shots in here, and I'm just like, so do you have any other, like, what are your next, or I guess you don't necessarily have to share, but like it's the new year, but like do you have some like specific goals that you have for toy photography this year? Like, what are you trying to I don't know, what I'm just curious as to specifics you might have.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Um,
Oh,
Outside is like just trying to get better at like photography and trying to make cooler looking photos and stuff like that. Because right now I've been trying to do like some kind of like highway photo, but I don't have any like actual like highway road templates and stuff like that. So I don't know where to find those. And I have a lot of like because like one Transformer line that came out was like called Velocitron, so it was all like racing themed and stuff like that. I'm like, I really want to do a race photo, but I can't. I don't have any racing,
right.
you know, you know, road, and I'm like, I don't know where to find that. So outside, like,
What about shooting it outside, like in like an actual like pavement or something? Have you thought about that?
yeah, well, I'm trying to find something that are like in scale because I mostly like photo and like indoors and stuff like that because right now it's like freezing and it's all gray outside and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's not very vibrant.
I know the feeling.
Um, but yeah, I've been trying. But yeah, I mean, I thought about doing like some outdoor stuff, but I never like going outside to do photos just because I can control everything in here.
That's
But
fair.
sometimes it's annoying too, but either way. But I mean,
Yeah, yeah. When you shoot outside, yeah, there's so many things that are not in your control, and especially when it's winter, it sucks because it's freezing and it's so dull. Yeah, I know the feeling.
yeah, I did do some winter photos. I'm trying to remember. It was like 2 years ago. I don't know if they're on my Instagram, but I did like a snake eyes and like snow and stuff like that. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I think it's like way, way down.
I'm
I
really
think it was
curious
like
to see it.
maybe I didn't post them on here. I hope I post them.
Snake eyes in the snow?
Oh, there he is. Oh, you missed him. If you go up slightly, there
Oh,
he
here he
is.
is. Oh, yeah. This looks great, and this fits so well for Snake Eyes too,
Hmm.
with the bark over here in the foreground also.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any other photos because I did some other photos for like some my wife's like little brother stuff. So there's like a Millennium Falcon in the snow and stuff like that. But I guess I never posted them on here.
We got the
Yeah, the
cloaked
first order stuff.
snow
Yeah.
trooper. Awesome. Actually, in the live chat, Mr. Kiwi says, "So, how long have you been doing this for?"
I think last year would have been like 2 years, right? Because I remember. Yeah, because what's the date on the first photo? I'm trying to
First
remember.
shot was February 5th, 2021. It's almost your 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, it's only the 2 year anniversary. So yeah, I was right about 2 years.
That's exciting. Are you gonna do a special 2-year anniversary post?
I don't know because I'll be out of town all next week, and I think that'll be on the 6th, isn't? Or is that on a Saturday? I'm trying to remember. Oh, that's on a Sunday, I think.
Oh, all right.
or it's on Monday. So I might actually be able to take a photo during the weekend and put something there. So
Cool. All
might be
right.
something to do. So
Sounds good. Well, I have a bunch of questions on Instagram. Well, actually, before I mention that, I want to make sure everyone who's watching, whether it's live or not, make sure you're following Corey here at Valkitus Photography. I have his Instagram linked in the description of the video, so you can just go and click right there, which is easier, or you can just go to Instagram, search for Valkitus. There's nobody else named Valkitus because he made it up. So definitely
not
make
that
sure.
I've found yet. Not that I've found yet. I haven't found anyone with that name yet.
Yeah, it's
hopefully.
you.
Yeah.
It's you. So definitely make sure you're following him. We're at 360 right now. So actually 367. So that's cool. So let's get him up to 400 plus. 400 plus. Keep going. And Ben in the live chat says, "Hey," by the way. And also Comic Dad in the live chat says, "What camera are you using?"
Oh, I'm trying to remember. It's a. I might have to look at the actual name on it, but it's a PowerShot. I'm trying to remember. It's a PowerShot 540 HS.
Cool.
Or SX. Yeah.
I feel like
so it's not like a mirror or like an actual like DLSR. It's just like a. I guess it's like a halfway point between like a point and shoot and like a normal like DSLR. So.
I think I might have used that same camera before I got my first DSLR. I had something just like that, and I really liked it. I liked it quite a bit. So That's awesome. All right. And Linda says, "Don't forget to like." Yes, and if you're watching, make sure like the video. That would be fantastic. Thank you. All right, so here we go. First question. And so actually, if you ever want to have your questions on, pop up one of the streams, I always put the questions on my Instagram story where you can ask a question. You just throw it in there, and then we'll put you up, and we'll give you a shout. And Corey will answer your question. So this is from Dr. Awesome. He says, "Apart from Sirdork, can't make that easy. Who's your favorite toy photographer right now?" Thanks, Dr. Awesome.
Oh, I don't. That's actually a good question. I don't know. I just like everybody's toy stuff.
That's impossible.
There is one that there is like one like Transformer like photographer called like Sixo. It was like SIXO like TF. Like you can
SIXO TF.
Yeah, it has like a yellow like face for like an icon stuff like that. But he does a lot of like stuff like Transformer like. He's like a toy, like a professional, I guess, like showcase like figures and stuff like that. So he has like really nice photos and stuff like that. So
he does great work.
He does reviews.
I can definitely see some inspiration for sure. Absolutely cool. That's what I had never even heard of him before. That's probably because I'm not. I mean, I like Transformers, but like, I've never been a huge Transformer guy. Like, the most Transformer like. Experience I have is watching, the Michael Bay movies, which a lot of Transformer fans don't really like so much. So, oh well. All right, well, Dr. Awesome, thanks for the super nice question. And so this is from Cretaceous Studios. It says, "How do you get the tiny props for the photos?"
So mini brands and those like little toy chests, like little smallest things. Now a lot of times they'll be in like the Walmart like. I guess where they put all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon card things now and stuff like that. You have like the toy box like little things there, so you have those, and then mini brands are like in like the toy section stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or GameStops now. They have them in GameStops now for some reason. So they're all like piled up over there. So
yeah, there's a ton of different mini brands. Those are so much fun.
And the mini brands are pricey though, so they are hard to like get a bunch of because they're like $10 for like 5 things.
Yeah.
I think. So.
I really want mini brands to do a whole, because they do like different themes. They have like the mini brands. They have like a food one, and they have like even like a fashion one and a Disney one. I want them to do just an action figure one where it's all just mini action figures. I think that would be so cool. But who knows? Who knows? All right, great question. Cretaceous Studios. Next is from Aaron's Toy Box. Hey, Aaron says, "How did you start doing toy photography?"
Because before I started, I think like it mainly started when I did like the photography like class and stuff like that. And, they made you like take a photo, and one of the first photos I did for the class was I guess like a little behind the back of like a Mando, like about to like shoot another Mando. I think that's in my Instagram too, but I
Oh,
just
cool.
posted it later on and stuff like that. And it was like the first photo I did, I guess, proper of something. It was just like two action figures like staring each other down, like outlaw style and stuff like that. And I decided, and then after that, I got into more like photography and stuff like that. Like I used to take photos of stuff, but I never like thought too much of it until I get that point.
That's so cool. So your first real experience was this the one here?
Yes, that's the one. I don't think I'm trying to think it was like the first one ever, but I know it's like the first like main one where they gave us an assignment to like take a photo with like your phone. And so I did that with like another like filter. I was like really filter heavy when I first started because I didn't. I was like, oh, I can make this look cool. It's like put a filter over it.
Right. That's all right.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's really cool. So this was your first real introduction to toy photography was just coming up with something for the class. I think that's awesome, and it's a lot. That's pretty unique because most of the time, you know, we get into toy photography because we saw it on Instagram. That's how I saw somebody else doing it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I want to give it a shot.
Mhm.
So that's really cool. Next one is thanks Aaron for the question. And I guess we kind of mentioned this already, but this is from Ben, Action Photography. Says, when you first started with action figures, what is your favorite part of the action figure? Or what's your favorite part about when you first started?
This is like just like what the best part of like an action figure is, I guess. I
Yeah.
guess I'm trying to think of. I mean, I guess like having like a physical like representation of something like you watch is like really cool to have and stuff like that. And also, it's just nice having like some cool model to have like on a shelf or something like that, and just be able to mess with. Because I like fidget stuff. Like I have like little tiny sound wave and stuff like that. Just like little desktop stuff when I'm bored and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and I like how
yeah.
you mentioned like, and this is mostly why like adults like to collect things. Is it's literally a physical representation of like a character you have like a connection with, and that's why it's not because it's like it's a toy, whatever. It's just like it's the closest thing you can get to that character, which I think is really cool. So, yeah, thanks Ben for the question. Next one is from Ashyarb 345. What's your favorite picture you've ever taken?
Okay, I gotta look at this one. I gotta look at all mine. I really did like the Christmas one I took, or like the lizard one, because I really like the lighting on some of those. Yeah, the Christmas one was really hard to pull off because I bought the snow on from Hobby Lobby, and I bought the wrong kind because I was like, oh, this is gonna be like powdery and stuff like that to put on the table. No, it was like kind of like that fake like Santa Claus beard kind of
Yeah,
texture and
that's
stuff
what
like
it that's
that.
what it looks like.
And I was like, oh, I got the wrong one because I should have bought like the flaky ones, but I couldn't find something that looked right. Um, so I just tried to flatten it out as best I could. We found that house at Walgreens on like sale, just
Nice.
right before Christmas and stuff like that. So, or it's like right after Christmas. I think I'm trying to remember when I posted it, but I took the photo of that and it actually lit up. It had like lights on the inside and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's
Yep,
true. It
and
does look like a Santa Claus beard material, which is really
yeah,
cool.
and
It
it
worked
was
well.
really easy to like pull apart and start breaking apart. So I had to like fix it. And the Santa Claus like jacket came from like a Santa Claus jacket ornament from Walmart that I cut off a hanger and then cut
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of it out so it could actually fit on the Santa Claus Prime that Hasbro came out with.
oh,
So
it's actually a Santa Claus Optimus Prime figure. That's awesome.
yeah, and it's a completely new mold too. So I was really surprised by that. So like it's a whole different figure and it's just painted to look like Santa for some reason.
Awesome.
So
And so this truck is a transformer, right, with the presents in
yeah,
it.
it was a trailer that came with the Optimus Prime. So
Nice. That's so brilliant. Nice. That's so good. Yeah, and yeah, putting the presents in it that was
yeah, and I
brilliant,
photoshopped the stars in the background too. So
which worked quite nicely.
and I did like a vignette on the edges, trying to make it look like cold and stuff like that. Which
Right. I think
yeah,
that was
which is hard because I had my name on there. It's like it's starting to disappear, so I had to like back off on the vignette a little bit.
no.
So,
I think that was perfect. I think that was perfect. Awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
So Ashyarb, thanks so much for that question, and I think she sent in a couple other ones. Yeah, she said, well, okay, which figure is your favorite?
Oh, that's a hard one. Okay. Trying to figure out because I'll say which one's my favorite is the new like the HasLab like Star Saber I got.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
the big one was just up on my shelf. It's kind of hard to get to right now. So it's
Yeah.
like there's like two figures, but they combine into like a giant, super mode and stuff like that. So that was like one of my favorite ones. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything that else is like super favorite outside like the giant robot that you can see the legs up on top of like the that's like the actual like Arc spaceship from like the cartoons. They turn into like an actual robot for the toy line. So it's like a giant robot. So it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so I do remember you mentioning that actually at one point. And you know what? Comic Dad in the live chat saying he needs a Transformer because he doesn't have any in his collection. What would you recommend him to get first?
I don't know. It really depends on what kind of, I guess, which side he likes more, stuff like that. If he likes the bad guys, he can always. There's a lot of choices. I don't know which ones are like available like at retail anymore right now.
Right.
You'd have to pay probably eBay prices, and that's I stay away from eBay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, the next question is from another one from Ashyarb. It says, "What props do you use the most?" And you kind of talked about that with the mini brands and the world's smallest stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the photo too, because sometimes if it's like, like the gas stations, like all food related stuff or like toy related things, that way it kind of has, some relatability to like the actual scene and stuff like that. Or like it was like living room setting, you have like a couch or something like that. If I could ever find a couch and stuff like that.
Right, and you can get a
like
lot of
props.
that at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby's got a
Yeah,
lot
they
of
do have
stuff.
a lot of stuff. It is. You do have to be careful because some of them aren't in scale, so you have to choose them wisely because sometimes they end up not being in scale with some things.
Right.
But
yeah, they've got a lot of. It's in like the dollhouse section. There's like a dollhouse.
Yeah, I've actually thought about getting one of those model houses because they're actually 1/12 scale. So I'm like, if I can, because they're 1/12 scale like the big ones are, but it sucks because the company that makes them don't have props in that area. They're all for like the smaller. All those props are made mostly for like the 3/4 inch model kit. So that's why I'm always like choosy about what props I get from over there. But I really want one of those houses so I can like paint it up and actually have like multiple scenes like a house to take photos for.
That would be so cool. I would love to see somebody do that.
It would take a while. It would probably be sitting on top of the table for the rest of its life. There's not a lot of room in here to put like a house and then keep lifting it up and without like, possibly damaging it.
That would definitely take up a large amount of room for sure. Yep. Cool. Well, if you end up doing that, I'm gonna be really excited to see how you do with photos and how you paint it and just how you use it in general. So yeah, I'd be super interested to see that. And Ashyarb, thanks so much for all the questions. This is a good one. So from EK Toy Photography, how long does it take to prepare each shot?
So it really depends. So a lot of times I can't, when I'm trying to think of an idea and I have writer's block, I'll just be like, sometimes I can grab like a random thing and stuff like that. But a lot of times I'll have like an idea in my head and I'll just procrastinate sometimes on it. Like over the course of a couple of days, I might like put something down and stuff like that. But when I actually like sit down and take a photo, I try to get it done as fast as possible and also try to make sure everything's perfect. Because I try to not take too much time, because if I take too much time, I start like overthinking a lot of stuff. Because I'm like my worst critic and stuff like that. So I'll just try to take it like really fast. But a lot of times I'll just be sitting with like an idea in my head for like days, and then finally it's like I can't stop. I have to take a photo and stuff like that because it'll just be stuck in my head forever. Like I had 3 photos I took in like one day, and just posted them like within like I think the clone, the lizard, and like one other photo were all like on one day that I took like within like an hour.
Awesome. That's great. Very productive, and it's cool when you have like like if you have a day that's super productive and you have all these shots, and then you kind of have like you're good for the next like week plus to post. You know, you can space it out and stuff. And it's kind of a nice like comforting feeling, like I'm good for a while. Good for a while.
Yeah, because the brand, the Trooper and the Lizard were all on like the same day. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Next shot or next question's from Yellow Man Studios. It says, "What are your camera settings?"
So those depend a lot too, because a lot of times depending on like the ring light intensity of the brain, I usually just max out the f-stop as much as possible because I want to get that. I'm trying to get the depth of field as good as possible, as deep as possible, because it only goes to like 8 max for the camera right now.
Wow.
And so I try to keep the ISO down to like 300 or 400, and then I just change the shutter speed because a lot of times these things aren't moving too much. So as long as I can keep the camera still, it won't really affect it too much, and that way I can get more light in without sacrificing anything else. That's really what I do right now. So
cool, awesome. Yeah, that's great, and great way to answer the question, because yeah, it is gonna be different all the time.
Yeah,
right.
I sound super technical when I was talking about that. I was like, I'm sorry. So super technical. Yeah, I'll just use shutter speed most of the time. So.
No, that's exactly what I'm sure Yellow Man was looking for. And Yellow Man, thanks for sending the question in. Next one's from Steve. Smarro Steven says, "What's your typical gear, lights, and editing?"
So I just have like the 2 like ring lights up there. I did get like a Lume Cube kind of thing at Walmart. It's kind of like I guess it's like one of their brands, I think. It was like $40, but it's like extremely bright, and I didn't use it for that recent photo, but I don't have a tripod for it yet. I just like set it against something, but it's like extremely bright and it's like very nice, and it's also multicolored too. So
Awesome.
it's like normal lighting, and it has more colors than one of my other ring lights. So
cool.
I can have
that
like
at Walmart.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if it's right. It's right here. Yeah, it's just like this little thing. But it's like Lume Cube has like the little screen on the back too and stuff like that. I think it was like it's either $40 to $70. So it's actually really nice find and stuff like that. So
that's cool. That's from Walmart.
Yep. So yeah, it's all in the camera like aisle. So it has like all the ring lights and stuff like that. So because this ring light right here has all the colors, so I use that Lume Cube. For the other side, so I have two-tone colors without having to use like a bind, like one of those notebook like colored binders I rip off and I just put over a ring light, so and stuff like that. That's what I used to do, to have like 2 colors on like the 2-tone. But
awesome.
Now that I have that, it's a lot easier. So
where are the ring lights from?
I think this one's a Christmas present, and the one up above my head right now is from Hobby Lobby, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can find ring lights pretty easily, I feel like.
Yeah, they're pretty easy. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Blake Lee Johnson in the live chat was asking. So that's really cool. I'm really curious about that. That looks just like the Lume Cube Panel Pro. It looks just.
Yeah, like I really wanted a Lume Cube because I think they're still probably a little brighter, but these are also extremely bright depending. So.
Yeah, and definitely a lot cheaper. So that's really cool. I'm really interested in that. I'm gonna have to look next time I'm at Walmart to check it out, because that's really cool. So I know we talked about this one, but this is from AJ Aaron Lego. It says, "What can you share your camera model?" And you said it was the Power Shot.
It's like the SX540 HS. I don't know if the SX really matters, but this is a 540. So, but yeah, it's the model they use for like most of the cool cameras at my university. Outside of like one was like a lower model, but I always picked the 540 because it was the best one for like photos and stuff like that. So.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about like potentially the next camera you'll look into getting, or are you going to stick with that one for a while?
So
it does the job great.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the main issue with this, it's a digital zoom. So when you get closer and like depending on like the lighting, it gets a little grainy. So I'm just like, So
right.
I really want. Of course, my wife would kill me. Like the one I really want is probably like I want one that's like really nice. So like I want to save it for like $1,000 one, just so I don't have to worry about replacing it like every couple of years and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then what's really great too is if you get a camera, like a DSLR. You can, if you have different ideas for types, you can, switch the lenses out, which is really cool. And actually, you know what? In the live chat, Daz throws out a totally unrelated question, but it says, "What's your favorite movie/toy franchise?" And I think
I think I think like movie wise, obviously I watch a lot of Marvel. I don't collect a lot of Marvel outside like the Spider-Man, section over on depending on if it's mirrored or not, but over on like the brown shelf and stuff like that. But I do like a lot of like the Marvel stuff. I don't collect a lot of that stuff. And of course like Transformers is always like the main like photography.
Transformers, yeah.
Because I like puzzles and stuff like that. So, being able to like figure stuff out because I don't use instructions unless it's like a expensive toy because I can usually figure stuff out. But when I'm like $500, I'm like, let me look at the instructions before I try to do anything before it snaps in half and stuff like that.
That's funny because the one time that I had gotten some Transformers and I was shooting those, I had no interest in transforming them. I had no interest because I only wanted them in their transformed. Like I didn't want to put them into the car form. I just didn't want to do it. Just didn't have any interest in transfer. So, which is the opposite of what you had. So that's
I just like puzzles and stuff like that. And some of the alt modes also help with like photos too. So if I ever want to do like civilian photos that are like small scale, I can use them as well. So
right, that's true. And back to the actually, Cam throws out a really great. Back to talking about the cameras. So it says, when you do get a camera, make sure you get one with a flip out screen. And
yes, I really want one that's either like it just flips like up or it goes to the side and like you can rotate a little bit because
that's huge.
This one is stuck on the stuck right on the back, and it's hard to do because I have to like bend over and look at the screen to make sure all the lighting's nice because depending on which way you view it, it can look a little weird. So
totally, I am right there with you. Yeah, so that's if you can get one that comes all the way out like this, and you can like even oh, that's so nice, so nice. All right, next questions from Steve again. It says, what toy from childhood do you wish you had for a photo shoot today?
I don't know. That's actually a good question. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I mean, really anything that was probably like superposable because it's really hard to like take photos of stuff that's just like static. Right. I know some stuff back then was a little more static. I don't know. I don't really have one outside. Maybe I don't know. I can't really think of one.
Let's see. Whenever I think of that, for me, I wish I had, because we had all of the Street Sharks figures from back in the day. I loved the Street Sharks, and I don't have them all anymore. And I wish I had them all. I feel like that would be, that would always be my answer for that question.
Like I think the first thing I ever like not collected but like bought a lot of as a kid was like the Bionicle stuff, like Lego and stuff like that, and they were always the highly posable things. I like they're action figures, but like you build them, and I like building things and stuff like that. So I like those a lot more.
I was a huge Bionicle fan back then. So like when they came in the Bionicle movie, I was like begging my mom so we could go and rent it. Like it was. I remember that. Yeah. It was like the movie was like the gold mask. It was like the Legend of the Gold Mask or something. I was just so pumped for that. Thanks, Steve, for the question. And so Steve has another question. He says, what toy would you prefer to gift to a young toy photographer?
That's actually a good question. I don't.
Right? What an interesting question. So if you were to gift a young toy photographer, what toy would you want to gift them as a young? I feel like if it were me, I would go with like a basic Stormtrooper because Stormtroopers are so versatile. You can stick them anywhere. They just that would be my number one. You can just do so much with a Stormtrooper.
Yeah, like I think like obviously I would try to give them like something like actual postable and stuff like that because I give my wife's like little brother like all my like hand-me-down stuff. Sometimes when I try to clear stuff out and I don't necessarily want to sell something, I might give it to him and stuff like that, and he just messes with them and stuff like that. He's actually taking some photos with them.
That's cool.
I gave him like it was like the Walmart exclusive like Black Panther that had like the purple lines. I know I gave him one of those. I don't know where it is now, but I think he took a photo of that one, or it might have been like the Transformers that got him
That's
a while
cool.
ago.
You've
Yep.
inspired him.
Yep.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, maybe he'll grow up to be a toy photographer just like us. But he's already there, so that's awesome.
Yep.
This is a great question. This is from Yavin04. It says, do you guys have any good app suggestions for light effects on lightsabers?
Oh, I haven't done a lighting effect on a lightsaber in a long time.
Yeah, I know
Outside
you
like
have, though, right?
I haven't done any on like a lightsaber per se. I know I did one in college for like a triptych photo. It was I wish I could show these, but it was it was for like the Star Wars, like I guess the newest Star Wars movie, like the last one they had. So I had like the Kylo Ren, like one photo, and then like stormtroopers on either or photo, and I composited them into like a scene, like a little fall scene and stuff like that.
Sweet.
And I did like a lightsaber effect. It didn't really look that good because I was trying to get it over the red, plastic and stuff like that. But that's like the first one I did. But I never really did one outside of like lighting effects outside maybe the that one Transformers photo on my Instagram. That's one of the pinned, like the second pinned one. But that has like a little
right.
light disc and stuff like that.
Right. And so,
Yeah,
did you just do that in Photoshop?
yeah. I just drew it kind of like hastily. It's not like the best like drawing because you can kind of see it like kind of squiggle a little
And
bit.
it's on his eyes, too, right?
Yeah, on the eyes. Yep. But I did like a white line, then I did like a blue outer glow on it, just so I could have some kind of energy effect. It looked like it's actually like turned on, like slicing and stuff like that. So
No, it looks really great. It looks really, really great. And I would recommend, if you don't have Photoshop, Yavin, download GIMP. GIMP is free. It's just like Photoshop, and you can do a lot of stuff. And I do have a tutorial on it. Thanks, Linda, in the live chat. She says, Sirdork has a tutorial. Yeah, and so any of the stuff I do in that tutorial, you can just use GIMP, and for the lightsaber stuff. And so in the live chat also, Kaushik says, "Hey Jared and Corey, I've just started filming toys. Not much photography, and I have a Canon EOS R with a 50mm and an 85mm prime lens. What do you say about that? By the way, I agree. Skills always surpass gadgets." I think that's really great. I think those are.
yeah, I'm not too familiar with that camera. I don't know a lot of like camera like models yet because of course I've been using this one, so I haven't really shopped around too much.
Yeah, if the 50mm is wonderful, and the 85 is also going to be great too, because I have an 85 that I use with my Sony, and the focal length is great. Just what it does to the background, it's very narrow but also super blurred out background, which is great. So I would say you've got some really great stuff for what you're going to do. So I would say just mess around with what you got and see what you like. That's what I would say, for sure. And hey, Mr. Kiwi also is here. Says, Jared, what camera are you using now? I'm using the Sony A7 III, which is really great. It's really awesome. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but YouTube was a big help, and now I love it. Definitely love it. All right, we still got a couple more questions from Instagram. Actually, no, we have one more question from Instagram, and it's from It's Evega. It's Evega. Sorry, I'm totally saying it wrong. But when or where did you develop your passion for toy photography?
I mean, I guess it was probably during like the that photography class and stuff like that. That's where I actually learned how to use a camera. I'm like, I really want to do more of this and stuff like that, which is why I kind of wish they did like the photography major and stuff like that at college. But I did want to do like game design and art, like the 3D modeling and all that, but which I haven't done too much of after college, just because of how busy I've been, and especially with the hobby. But I guess that's where it started. I just did like a semester of photography, and then like I want that camera so I can do more of it. So
Right.
But yeah.
Awesome. That's great. I still think it's so cool that you're able to take like photo classes. Every time I think about that, I'm like, that'd be so cool to like if I had the spare time and money, like I would go and just take a photography class at like a local college, just to like, there's probably so much that I could learn from that.
Yeah, it was weird because it was during COVID too, so it was all kind of remote. A lot of times, we only did like a couple. I think it was during COVID, but it was during, especially when we started to wear masks and stuff like that outside, and we were all walking around, especially for like field days when we were on like downtown, like taking photos and stuff. And so there was a lot of just online, just like talking about photos. So it's a little tricky trying to describe stuff because I'm a visual person, so I can't always like point at something. So I'm like,
Right.
but yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I have two questions that I always love to ask in these, and I totally forgot to ask them in the last couple. But so number one is, what character do you love that we do not have a figure of yet? Like, what character is there a Transformer out that Hasbro needs to make? Like, what character do we need as a figure that doesn't exist yet?
Oh, I don't know. That's actually a good question. I'm trying to think of one. Probably like any like obscure character, because there's always like some random person in the background that they could make a figure of. Because I know Star Wars does that a lot, where they'll just come out with like a random background alien. It's like, who's this guy? It's like, oh, he was on scene 23 for like 2 seconds. Here's a figure, and go by it. So I mean, obviously like those, and then probably like some more like troop builder stuff, because there's not like any like generic Transformer really. There's always like specific ones, so it'd be nice to have like a little generic, so you can just like buy up and just have like an army of stuff just to have as cannon fodder for photos and stuff like that.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I do like the being able to have that background stuff, which is really cool. Cool. Awesome. And Mountainside throws a question really quick too. I want to say, what says, what camera would you recommend young photographers that just started? Would you recommend the camera that you're using now?
Probably, because I mean, if they haven't like taken, like, it's pretty easy to use, but if they're just starting, they can always just use their camera too. Because I know cameras nowadays for phones are really good.
Yeah.
The only downside is the zoom and stuff like that, and it can be pixelated. I always go between like normal camera and portrait, just depending on how close and if I can get a better look with one or the other. But I mean, the power shots, I think it's about $230. It was either $200 to $400. I'm trying to remember how much it was. But it is very easier to use, and you get a hang of it pretty quickly.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, that any one of the Canon power shots, they're definitely nice and easy to use, which is especially when you're first starting, because when you get a super complicated camera, it's very daunting, and you're like, I don't know what all these buttons do. So yeah, awesome. And my last question for you is, in 5 years, where do you see yourself as a toy photographer 5 years from now?
Oh, I don't know, because I'm too humble with myself, so I'll be like, oh, this is gonna be another hobby and stuff like that. My wife always says like, I can make like a career out of it too, but I'm just like, I mean, it's so much of a hobby, and like I'm so busy with work, my normal job and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know how to find time to like make it like a career. Or something like
Where
that.
do you want to be in 5 years then?
Just be have more more equipment and stuff like that. Have like better tools, and be able to like, that way I can make higher fidelity photos and stuff like that. Or because obviously, like, I always hate when it comes out blurry and stuff, or like fuzzy, and be like, okay, well, let's get a upgrade and have like different lenses and stuff like that for different photos and all that.
Cool.
And just be able to make them better. So
awesome. Yeah. All right, I think that's a great goal. That's a great goal.
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right. Well, do you have any other things to plug or anything else you wanna throw out there before anyone else you want to thank or anything?
I mean, I don't have anything really to plug outside of. I mean, I do have like the little Redbubble stores like linked to my like Instagram. So if you guys have prints, I haven't updated it in like a while, but I still have like some prints and stuff like that,
which you can find right here, right?
Yeah, I still have like the little link put up and stuff like that. But I put it in there in case anyone sees them and they want to buy a print. I haven't bought any prints myself, so I don't know how well Redbubble.
Redbubble's good. Redbubble does good.
Yeah, because I know you recommended it from a video, so I decided to create one. So I'm like, at some point, I'm gonna buy a print for my own.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Wall and stuff like that. So
definitely do that. Awesome. And yeah, make sure you're following Corey Val, at Valkitus Photography on Instagram. right here. I have it linked in the description. It's that easy. Just go make sure you're following him. We've already gotten him, well, 7 at first. Let's see if it's gone up anymore since then. All right, we gone up 10.
it's 370.
Heck yeah. All right, well, Corey, thanks so much for coming on. It was great talking. Thanks for being in the membership and just being awesome. And of course, I'm looking forward to all this stuff. I know you got a new Transformer shot you're dropping today.
Oh, well, I think I just dropped it today. I thought I posted it already. Did it not?
Oh yeah, here it is.
Oh yeah, I did post. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Make sure you check out his new Transformer shot and drop a like on there.
Yeah, it's a really quickly shot. So I took it right before. I think I got it started like photographing it on like 12 o'clock my time.
Nice.
It was about an hour before, so I quickly like color corrected some of it, and then I posted it right before I came on with you. So
Awesome.
I'm like, I want to put a shot up before the stream. I'm like, and then I had an hour. I'm like, okay, I gotta quickly get this done. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, man. And I'll see you around, of course, on the Discord and on Instagram. And thank you so much, everyone who's watching. And see you guys in the next video.
All right. Thanks,
See ya.
guys. Yeah, I can.